Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. You have literally found your way over to the Jester Section Hiker podcast, your premier podcast with the spotlight on section hikers. And I am your host, Julie Jester Gayheart. And what a way to kick off year 5 of the show. We are live here on YouTube on this fine Saturday morning, February 3rd at 9:30 a.m. And I already screwed up going live. So for those of you that were looking at one link, I am now on another link. So hopefully YouTube will give you an indication that, I screwed up and had to start another live. So what a way to start off with a bang here early in 2024. And that just goes to prove that everybody makes mistakes, and I am here to prove that. So welcome back. I truly appreciate you guys joining. For those of you that are in the live chat this morning, please go ahead and let me know who you are in the chat, where you're from, and where you are going to be section hiking this year. And I will put your messages up on the screen. But today you are going to get what YouTubers call or podcasters call a talking head video, where I am going to be going over some things you could expect for 2024, some things I am working on personally as far as strength. And I have a coach now that is helping me get geared up for hiking. And that leads to the title of this episode, A Season for Building Strength and Focusing on Hiking. So again, the title of this episode is A Season for Building Strength and Focusing on Hiking. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a backstory for those of you that might be new to the podcast. And for those of you that have listened to the show over the past several years, all of you know that actually starting in October 2021, through last February, I have had 3 foot surgeries on my right foot. So the past couple of years has been going through surgery, going through physical therapy, and just kind of rebuilding the strength in my foot, and really honestly figuring out what I was going to be able to do as far as hiking goes. And a couple months ago, I had my physical therapist on the show, Dr. Matt Tracy, and I spent 7 months with Dr. Matt Tracy rehabbing, rebuilding, and not only re-strengthening my foot, but also re-strengthening my mindset. I was in the mindset that, oh yeah, as soon as I heal up, I'm going to get back to what I was able to do in the past. I'm going to get back to hiking long days. I'm going to get back to, going out on majorly long section hikes. And over the past few months, I have realized, yes, all of that is possible, but I am not there yet. So I parted ways from Dr. Matt Tracy right around Thanksgiving. And that was a sad day, my last day of physical therapy, because not only did Matt and I build a relationship of working together, but we also built a friendship and a personal relationship. So that was sad, parting ways with Dr. Matt. But I knew at that point it was time for me to graduate from physical therapy and kind of try to figure out what I wanted to do as far as building my physical strength, my mental strength, and my spiritual strength, quite honestly, because over the last 2 years, I lost everything. I lost my physical strength. I lost my mental strength on how to be strong, and I lost my spiritual strength. And you guys know this gentleman I'm getting ready to tell you. His name is James Appleton. He is the host and producer of the 46 of 46 podcast. He lives in the heart of the Adirondacks, and I have followed James for a long time. And James started this program called Seek to Do More. And I have followed that. I have followed his Instagram post and listened to his podcast. And I was in this moment in December where I was like, I can't do this on my own still. I need a coach. I need help. And I need someone that is into hiking. And James fit that bill. James has hiked all of the 46 peaks in the Adirondacks multiple times. He has podcasted about that on his show. He now owns his own guiding business. He now owns his own online coaching business, and it is specific to hikers. And that was one of my criteria, is to really try to find somebody who was going to help me not only build my strength to get back hiking, but actually understood hiking. So for those of you that have ever gone to a personal trainer, gone to a gym, a lot of times, and this is nothing against personal trainers, but a lot of times they are not focused on hiking. A lot of them are focused on, yes, the strength building aspect, but maybe running or maybe powerlifting or different things. But I knew that James was a hiker and his programs were specifically focused on hiking. So I made it up in my mind. I reached out to James in late December and I said, listen, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I want to hire you as a coach. I want to enter the Seek to Do More program and find out what that's about and really change what I wanted to do in 2024. And you guys, I have a confession. So for those of you that are going to be listening to the audio version of this, you might get a chuckle. And for those of you that are online right now, it is a true confession. So back around Thanksgiving, even prior to that, when I was still in physical therapy, I had to admit to myself something. And what I had to admit was, Jester, you're out of shape, and your hiking clothes don't fit anymore. And that's an issue. It's an issue when you're a hiker and you have all your clothes, you have all your gear, and you have everything you need. And you go to put your hiking shirt on and your stomach is busting out the buttons. So instead of trying to hide that, I had to accept that. And part of that was accepting, you got a little fat over these last 2 years, and you need to work on that. You need to get that off, and you need to build your strength, and you need to focus on being stronger and being in shape, not only for hiking season, but for the rest of your life. So on January 1st, I started the Seek to Do More program with James. And I'm going to tell you guys what day I am on. Today is day 34. So I started on January 1st. And on January 1st, I started eating my body weight in protein. I started drinking a gallon of water a day, or close to it. It was hard to drink a gallon of water a day at first, but now I can do that. And I started 7 daily commitments that are part of the Seek to Do More program. And y'all, I have never eaten my body weight in protein. And I'm not going to say my body weight on the air because I'm totally embarrassed. Y'all get the deal. My hiking clothes did not fit on January 1st, and I'm over that. So part of the program is eating more protein, drinking a gallon of water a day, and then you have 7 daily commitments that you fulfill. And I'm not going to go over all of those because guess what, y'all? James is going to be coming on the podcast later on in March. And he and I are going to be going through what I've been dealing with as far as losing weight, getting stronger. And I've also committed to a spiritual component of that. And I know this is a hiking podcast, but part of who I am and what I like to do is I'm a Christian, I'm a spiritual person. And this year in 2024, I committed to going to church in person every Sunday possible. And when I can't go to church, that means I'm either on vacation, out of town. I'm going to watch it online because that is a very important part of my life. So, and I don't think I've ever said that out loud on the podcast, but my spiritual strength means more to me than my physical strength and my mental strength. And that all kind of works together. So that is what I'm working on now. And I'm excited to have James on the show. But I can report in 34 days, I have lost 5 pounds. So that may not seem like a lot to some individuals that can lose more weight than others. But for me, that is 5 pounds less than what I weighed on January 1st. And y'all, I am eating meat like a crazy person. The other night for dinner, I had bacon and watermelon. I mean, who knew? So I am learning. These are all new things to me because in the past life, in 2023, a bag of chips was where I went to, or crackers, or eating cookies or cake or whatever. So instead of focusing on every bite of something that I put in my mouth, that would help me toward my goals in 2024. So that is where I'm at. I am totally focused on that. And I will give you all a little secret. I actually tried to quit. So 3 or 4 days ago, I reached out to James and I was like, I think I'm good. I don't know if I could, I'm good. I got it. I get the gist of it. And James is like, no, let's have a conversation and see where we're at. And the conclusion of that conversation was, I just turned 50 and it's okay to focus on yourself. It's okay to take care of yourself. And that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to take care of my mental aspect. I'm going to sharpen my spiritual aspect of my life, and I'm going to get stronger. And part of the program that I'm doing is I have purchased a trap bar, and I don't know if you all know what that is. And I do trap bar deadlifts 3 days a week. 3 different sets of programs. So, and I can tell I am getting stronger. And I'm also working on finally building out my own home gym in my garage. So I hate going to the gym. I hate working out. I hate doing anything but hiking. But the reality of life is these things are a necessity, and they're a necessity for me. And in 2024, I am going to take you all along with me in my journey as I go along. And part of the program for James is looking toward the future and seeking your future goals. And my goals are to get back to hiking. And in June, I'm not going to announce it now, but in June, I am actually going to be doing a through hike of a trail. So that is what I'm working toward. That is what I'm getting stronger for. And I'll be making that announcement later on and having the person on the show that I am going to be doing that through hike with. So that is where I'm at, you guys, with the title of this show, Building Strength and Getting Back to Hiking in 2024. Because y'all, it has been a long time since I have thrown my backpack on and hiked on the trail. And that is what I am gearing up for in 2024. And I really didn't mean for that to rhyme. So that is what I'm gearing up for in 2024. And I'm looking forward to having James on the show later on in March. And I'm looking forward to you all learning more about that program as well, because the number one thing and the number one question that I get from hikers is, how do I get in shape? I get injured when I go out on a section hike. And I got injured going out on section hikes too because I did not train. And I did not focus on strength, and I did not get myself ready for what I was able to do. And when you're younger, you can do that. But when you're older, you cannot. And that is where I am at. So I'm excited about that. More information to come about that. And y'all, I have an agenda. So I am trying to follow my agenda today. And I did screw up this live. And so I'm going to have to change all the information in the description after the episode is over. So I will update that to make sure you all have information on where you can find James at that program. And you don't have to wait on me to have James on the show in March. You could do your own research and investigate that as well. So now I want to move on. First, I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and hopefully you all are enjoying your morning Saturday coffee as well as you are listening to this. And I see more and more of you popping into the chat. So I appreciate you all being here. And I see our good friend Chris. He says, I get injured sneezing. So Chris, I'm right there with you. I get injured in the morning when I stand up and try to walk to the shower because everything is creaking and all that wonderful stuff. So that's why I'm trying to get myself in shape for what I want to do this year. And we got Bill. What's happening, Bill? He is in the chat as well. And Bill says, I feel your pain. Bill, I'm right there with you. So y'all, let's get on with it. What you guys can expect for the podcast in 2024 beyond what I am doing with building myself in the Seek to Do More program. I am also changing up the way that I am going to be doing the podcast this year in year number 5. First and foremost, the podcast is not going anywhere. But I came up with 2 words that I think the podcast is going to be, and that is going to be consistently inconsistent. So what I mean by that is there will not be an episode every week. There will not be maybe sometimes multiple episodes every month. But what I want to get back to is the heart of what I really loved doing for the podcast, and that is specifically podcasting from the trail. So if you guys remember, for those of you that have been along for the ride of this podcast journey, back in 2020, 2021, I did a series of shows on the Mountains to Sea Trail, the 40-day hikes across the state of North Carolina. And all of those episodes, I believe there were 17 episodes about the 40-day hikes. I did all of those episodes while on those hikes. And I loved that. I loved recording from the trail. I loved hearing my footsteps on the trail, and you all love that as well. Those are some of the highest downloaded episodes that are on the podcast right now. And if you follow along on YouTube, you can find that entire playlist, and you can listen to those episodes in order, starting with the first hike, which was heading out from Clingman's Dome in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And I also did, in the summer of 2020, I recorded like a daily diary of being out on the trail and working on my second section hike of the AT. And I really enjoyed doing that as well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this year for the podcast, to combine with my goals of getting stronger and being out on the trail more, I also want to bring you more episodes while I am out hiking. I love doing those. I love recording what I am calling the daily diaries. And you could also find on YouTube, I made a playlist for that AT, the summer of 2020, when I did daily diaries, not vlogging, daily audio diaries from the trail. So I really, really miss doing that. And I haven't done that because I haven't been hiking. Thank you, Bill. Bill says he loved those, having done the same hikes. I could imagine right where you were on the trail. Yeah, Bill, that is where my heart is, and that is what I want to do for this show in 2024. I am going to have some interviews. I've got some interviews lined up for March. But the majority of 2024 is going to be bringing you episodes from the trail. And it's actually been 2 years in the spring, and I've got an actual through hike coming up in June. And for the through hike, I plan to do daily episodes as well. And I'm going to do my best to try to get those uploaded on a daily basis, the audio version of those uploaded on a daily basis. So that is where I am as far as recording episodes for 2024. I really, really, really want to get back to recording from the trail. That is where I feel the most comfortable, and that is where I have the most fun recording for the podcast. And when I do that, I may not wait till Saturday to throw the episode out. I may just edit the audio and get those out to you as soon as I can. So for those of you that are just joining on the live version, we talked about my strength program that I got going on. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get in hiking shape, and some updates for the show in 2024. And I also made a note here that I want to work on. I thru hiked the Wonderland Trail in 2019, and I have detailed notes. And I actually did a daily journal on the Wonderland Trail. And one of my goals this spring is I want to turn that series of daily journals into an audio series and drop all the episodes at once on the podcast. So I've got exactly the way we went. We went counterclockwise on the trail. I have our daily mileage. I have our daily elevation. I have our highs and our lows of the days on the trail. So that will be 9 episodes of my thru hike of the Wonderland Trail in 2019. And that has been on the back burner, but I want to get that out sometime in the spring, and I'm going to start working on those episodes as well. And all of those episodes will drop at one time on the podcast. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to recount that hike around Mount Rainier, which was absolutely fantastic. So be on the lookout for that in probably after April, sometime mid-April, early May, for 9 episodes to drop on the show, specifically about hiking the Wonderland Trail around Mount Rainier. So lots of good stuff happening in 2024. I'm actually going to be slowing down the regular episodes of the podcast, but the podcast is not going anywhere. We are just going to change how things are rolling. And that is kind of where I'm at with the Jester Section Hiker podcast. So that leads me to another podcast that I am doing. I'm actually taking a little bit different role with this particular podcast. I've started a live stream show for the Allegheny Trail. You can find that live stream podcast on the YouTube channel right now. And we are 3 episodes in, and I'm taking a different role. As I just said a few moments ago, I am actually moderating the show, where I am kind of the control panel behind the scenes for the co-host of the show, Nicole and Justin, who are with the Allegheny Trail organization. And the Allegheny Trail is having their 50th anniversary coming up in 2024, September 2024. And we are going to be putting out 1 live stream episode a month for the Allegheny Trail podcast, leading up to all the information about the 50th anniversary and more information about the Allegheny Trail. You can find that on Apple Podcast and Spotify as well. And then the majority of you know about Beyond the Trail podcast that Austin and I do over on our company channel, Jester Wallace Productions. You can find that as well on Apple and Spotify. So as you guys could hear, I've got 3 ongoing podcasts right now for 2024, with the flagship podcast being the Jester Section Hiker Show, and then coinciding with the Allegheny Trail podcast and Beyond the Trail. So all of that information, as soon as we get off of here, will be in the description below. And if you are listening to the audio version of the show, you can find that in the audio show notes wherever you are listening to this podcast. So I wanted to round out the episode with a huge thank you not only to everybody that has followed the show, Jester Section Hiker podcast, over the last 4 years, and as we begin year 5 of the show, for all the listeners, for all the guests, for all of my co-hosts. I truly appreciate you joining me over these years. We have all grown together, and now we are entering our new season of the podcast and new fun things to come. And the last thing I wanted to talk about on the show before I sign off until our next episode is Austin and I recently released our film that we have been working on over the last year and a half, featuring the Haywood County Search and Rescue Team. The film is titled Safe and Found, and you can find that over on our Jester Wallace Productions YouTube channel. And you all, we had our film premiere on January 20th. And I am still overwhelmed to this day of how many people showed up for that film premiere. We had over 375 people at the premiere on January 20th. We were all gathered at the Haywood Community College, and we debuted the film, and it was absolutely incredible. I pretty much cried the whole second half of the film and into our Q&A session that we had after the film, because you all, I was just completely overwhelmed of everyone that was there. And then the very next day, we had our live premiere of the film over on our company channel, Jester Wallace Productions. And we had almost 200 people in that live premiere on YouTube. And you guys, I am in total shock, but this film, as of this morning, has received almost 8,000 views. And I am excited and I am shocked at the same time, because everybody has been sharing this film. This film is about hiker safety. It's about preventative search and rescue, and it is putting the spotlight on what it takes to be on a search and rescue team. And you all know how I feel about hiker safety. To me, hiker safety needs to be at the same level as Leave No Trace. And Bill, I thank you for your comment. Bill says, great film. And he received his print in the mail. And thank you for ordering a print, Bill. I truly appreciate that. But you guys, it is truly in my heart that every hiker that goes out on trails needs to see Safe and Found. Austin and I put our heart and soul into this film. And again, over 8,000 people have watched the film on YouTube. And our gratitude cannot be shared enough. And we truly appreciate it. Oh, hey, Janet. One of my hiking pals who lives in Vermont, Janet, is in the chat. She says, as one who has been rescued, this was one film I really wanted to see. So thank you for that, Janet. Truly appreciate it. So, and if you guys have not seen the film, I've got our film website. Yeah, we created a website. Let me pull that up for you real quick. So we do have an actual website for the film, where you can find out all the details, what went into making the film, everyone that is involved in the film. And on the film website, we have our the actual film itself. We actually have the trailer to the film. We have our brand partners that were involved in the film, and one of our brand partners was Hiker Metals. Our other brand partner was Heidi Nisbet with Sketching Summits. And you all, the artwork for the film was absolutely fantastic by Heidi. And you can find the film and the website one of two ways. You could go to our Jester Wallace Productions YouTube channel, or you can go over to our website, which is safe-and-found.com. And all of the information you can find there. And actually, Stella has put that in the chat. And I will also add that to the description in the show notes. Again, you all, thank you very much for all of your support, for the Jester Section Hiker podcast, for the other 2 podcasts that I am now involved in. I'm looking forward to bringing you more information as I go along, building my strength and getting ready for my through hike coming in June. And I have not announced where that is going to be, but I will in a future episode. So you all, I really, truly appreciate you being here for the last 4 years. I was excited to kick off year 5 of the show and how the podcast is going to operate differently. And you will be hearing from me real soon. I have also come up with what I am calling the Section Hiker Playbook. So the very next episode, whenever I decide to put that out, I am going to be introducing to you all the Section Hiker Playbook. And the subtitle to that is 7 Logical Steps to a Successful Section Hike. Makes sense, right? So be on the lookout for the next episode, which is going to be all about the Section Hiker Playbook, 7 Logical Steps to a Successful Section Hike. I love you all. I truly appreciate you all. And until I see you all again, you know what I'm going to say. Thanks for listening. Be safe out there, everybody. And as always, happy section hiking.